Is she currently the most popular player in women's tennis? Indeed. Is she larger than Sabo? Is she larger than Coco? It's insane, dude. She is having the same impact that Fonseca had, similar to what happened to the men's team in Miami last year. It resembles Fana, but I believe it is larger. Yes, it is. Indeed, it is. The crowds were crazy for her last week, much like in Doha. Yes, that's right. You should absolutely keep an eye on her, of course, since she's so talented, but you want to watch her games to get a sense of the atmosphere and what it's like on the court. There must be some jealousy, perhaps from some of the other girls or the women who are entering. She isn't now in the top 10 biggest. Sam Querrey is going wild, and when someone like him talks, the tennis community listens because this isn't just any online voice. This man has played professional tennis for years, is well-versed in the sport, knows what it takes to succeed on the circuit, and has seen firsthand what true star power looks like when it walks into a room. Furthermore, Sam Querrey is now concentrating on a single person, is pointing to Alexandra Eala and claiming unequivocally that she has become the biggest draw going into the upcoming WTA competitions. Not the biggest, not among the biggest, nor one of the biggest. Abruptly stop. Querrey isn't keeping this to herself either. He is not trying to avoid detection by concealing it in a corner. He's doing his hardest. He is challenging everyone to do so by setting it on the table in front of them. In terms of the interest and excitement she generates each and every time she takes the court, he claims that Alexandra Eala has developed a degree of drawing power that puts her above the rest of the field. As if that weren't bold enough, Querrey and the team of experts behind this conversation are going even farther. They assert that Eala is on her way to surpassing even Aryna Sabalenka's ability to captivate others. Think about what that means for a moment. Sabalenka is the best country in the world. She has multiple Grand Slam victories. She is currently one of the most prominent and influential people on the planet. These experts have concluded that Alexandra Eala is already operating at a higher level when it comes to packing stadiums, creating an electrifying atmosphere, and making spectators feel as though they must attend every game after analyzing the situation. It would be like one of the biggest things in the world if they won a lamb. Yes, that's right. You should absolutely keep an eye on her. You want to watch her matches just to see what it's like on the court, not because she's so talented. He doesn't base his case on speculation or wishful thinking, thus there must be some jealousy from some of the other questions. It is predicated on what is happening in these tournaments right now. The numbers are correct. Lies are not told by crowds. When Alexandra Eala is scheduled to perform, something shifts. The atmosphere has changed. Now, those who have no intention of going are trying to get tickets. Those who already have tickets begin talking about the game days in advance. Fans go great distances from all over the world to be in the same building as this young Filipino woman and watch her compete. The amount of attention she requires on a court cannot be produced or replicated. It is really organic. Querrey also makes it very evident that none of the top players on the circuit right now, including the world number one herself, are generating that kind of pull in the same way. He even went so far as to say that the events surrounding Eala might be causing some of the top 10 players on the WTA circuit to feel a certain way. He's talking about athletes like Sabalenka, women who have devoted their entire lives to excelling in their particular sports. It's possible that women who have won the biggest trophies in the game noticed Eala's attention and found it hard to ignore it. Even though that is a significant statement, Querrey made it because that is the current state of affairs in the tennis world, biggest attraction in women's tennis at the moment. Indeed, is she larger than Sabalenka? Is she larger than Coco? It's insane, dude. She's having the same effect that Fonka had on the men's team in Miami last year. It resembles Fana, but I believe it is larger. Yes, it is. Indeed, it is. When it came to what Eala might do, the crowds in Doha went crazy. The greater number of professionals participating in this conversation is going even deeper this year. They are completely behind her after her fast ascent through the ranks. They argue that if Alexandra Eala were to win a Grand Slam in 2025, it would be the biggest event in professional tennis in recent memory. Not just for the Philippines, not just for Asian tennis, but for tennis globally. They assert that people will remember it for a long time. The kind of pivotal moment that changes narratives and creates a whole new generation of fans who claim that everything changed at that specific moment. That is a significant assertion. Reputable people in the tennis community are speaking out, indicating that Eala's potential is currently being regarded very seriously. This is where the story gets even more intriguing since more people than just professionals and commentators are driving the conversation. The players are jumping straight in. One of the top players on the WTA circuit, Jessica Pegula, has years of experience at the highest level of the sport. She described what occurred to her when she encountered Eala at the Miami Open last year, and it was incredible. Pegula stated that as she entered the conflict, she was astounded by what she saw. It was not what she had expected. The ambience that awaited her there caught her off guard. Electric energy was involved. The audience was enormous, passionate, incredibly noisy, and completely absorbed in every little detail. Pegula claimed she had the best of intentions when she stated all of that, but it was insane. She wasn't there to express her disapproval. She was amazed by it. She became aware of what she was witnessing as she stood in that etting. Pegula went into great length in her later comments. She pointed out that of all the players on the circuit, Alexandra Eala consistently had the most audience support. She presently receives more attendance than any other player, whether it's in Dubai, Miami, or the Australian Open. People travel on her behalf. For the opportunity to enter the stadium and see her play, fans wait in lines that are far longer than those off a typical game. This kind of magnetism is quite rare. Tennis as a sport has spent years trying to create that kind of genuine, passionate, and profound connection between a player and a fan base in foreign nations. And Alexandra Eala has already provided it. All without the need for a well-thought-out campaign, thanks to her talent, charisma, and captivating story. As you are aware, she has performed admirably and made a name for herself as a top performer on tour. They all show up to help her, I guess. Therefore, I believe we witnessed it in Australia during a period of relative overcrowding. She was dressed too small. Novak Djokovic then added his voice to the conversation. A man who holds the record for the most Grand Slam victories in sports history. A man who has played professional tennis at all levels for over 20 years. The greatest tennis player the Philippines has ever produced is Alexandra Eala. Djokovic said, she deserves all the honor and respect that the sport has to offer. And he expressed his opinion that the circumstances around her have not always been handled in a way that correctly portrays her genuine position and drawing talent. He specifically talked about how her court assignments and schedule have been handled at various tournaments. Fans are no longer the only ones making noise when Djokovic says anything like that, and the entire tennis world pays heed. The best thing that has ever been done is to say that Alexandra Eala deserves more and that the sport needs to treat her fairly. You know, Alexa, that's been a talk, and that makes sense because some players come from different countries. For example, she's coming from the Philippines, which is a big deal right now. She's the biggest tennis player from that country, which is a big country and there's a lot of interest, so things like that happen. I mean, you could argue that it was a bad schedule, and maybe they could schedule him on a bigger court, but again, she's so young and she's just starting out. Thus, the analysts are now merging all of these threads to arrive at a single, clear conclusion on Alexandra Eala's raw pulling power and the huge number of people she draws from all over the world. Her performance is so good that even Aryna Sabalenka has fallen behind. Inside the lines, nobody is minimizing Sabalenka's accomplishments. She is a champion of the highest caliber. But analysts are distinguishing between winning titles and having the kind of financial and cultural impact that transforms a sport and opens it up to new audiences. They further assert that Alexandra Eala is currently living alone. Sam Querrey started this conversation, but it has gone well beyond one man's perspective. Players, legends, experts, and the crowds that are emerging everywhere are all saying it. The plays of Alexa speak louder than anyone else. The main draw of tennis. She has developed an interest in that.